and we get word that, in fact, it is the tackle from Oklahoma, Tyler Guyton.
And that makes sense, Mike. I mean, we've been hearing about him as he's been a target for the Cowboys before. Again, they're drafting for need here, as we talked about. So this pick for what they need and what they're trying to replace, it makes sense that they went with him, and he was on the board there.
Tyron Smith gone to the Jets now. This is the guy who they think at some point can be their left tackle. 6'8", 332 pounds, from Manor, Texas, down in the Austin, the Hill Country area. Started his college career at TCU. Played in 8 games in 2021 at TCU, then transferred to Oklahoma. 10 games in 2022 with 5 starts. And then in 2023 played in 10 games with 9 starts at right tackle, which was the blind side for Dylan Gabriel, their left-handed quarterback. So in essence, that would be like playing left tackle for most offenses in the NFL.
Yeah, he's allowed only 2 sacks across 27 collegiate games, and he gave up none last year. He's athletic. He's got some good footwork. So the Cowboys, I feel like, should feel good about this pick, Mike.
Tyler Guyton, tackle from Oklahoma, is the pick for the Cowboys. We have Jeff at the Star, I believe. Fox 4's Jeff Kolb is there with the latest. Don't tell me, Jeff, they're happy about the pick. There's celebration in the war room. Cowboys able to trade back, get an extra pick, and get one of the guys they wanted, right?
No, absolutely. And we spoke about this earlier in the evening. Tyler Guyton was one of these offensive linemen that Dallas was interested in. We talked about trading back, and Jerry Jones had mentioned the desire to accumulate more picks. Dallas has not been in a draft where it didn't have 4 choices in the first 4 rounds of a draft since 2019, and that was a draft where they really struggled to land some talented guys. So to get Guyton, especially when both he and Graham Barton were there at 24, you trade back to 29, and Guyton still being there, that is a serious win for this team.
As we said, a guy who started at TCU, ended up going to Oklahoma, and played at that very high-level program. Didn't play high school football until late, his senior year of high school. He was more of a basketball player at 6'8" and 322 pounds. When you look at the scouting reports, for instance, from NFL.com, they rave about his athleticism, his length and footwork, but mention his weaknesses as being a tall player who sometimes plays too tall as a tackle, things that obviously they will work on at this next level. So, Jeff, the Cowboys now have number 56 overall in the 2nd round. They pick up that extra 3rd rounder. They have a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, and 2 7th round picks. So, again, to emphasize, if 2 of the goals were, number 1, to get an offensive lineman who you think can come in and start for you with a 1st round pick, and to get more picks, I guess it's mission accomplished here in the first night for them, right?
No, and we knew that offensive lineman had to be the first spot that they tried to target. Now, we will see if Guyton is someone who winds up starting from day one. It might take some time. As you mentioned, Mike, you know, this kid coming out of Manor, Texas, had only played 1 year of high school football. Granted, it is Texas high school football. That's a different level, but still a little bit of a lack of experience. So it might be a TJ Bass starting on that left side of the offensive line before Guyton. If he's not ready, of course, it will be the work of this coaching staff to try and make sure he is. And another key, storyline for us will be to see what happens with Tyler Smith. Does he stay at left guard? Do they bump him out to left tackle? Let's remember Tyler Smith, when it was his night and he was a 1st round pick at 24th overall, there were a lot of question marks about his lack of experience, coming out of Tulsa, and some penalty issues, and we've seen how that works out. He's been a Pro Bowler here in his 2nd season. So, it seems like a win here, again, trading back, accumulating that extra 3rd round pick. And, Dallas has had success in those middle rounds. In the 4th round, they've had a lot of success. We know they don't have that pick because of the Trey Lance trade, but you think of some of the guys, the Dak Prescotts, the Jake Fergusons, the Dalton Schultz that they have landed in those middle rounds. This was a huge win to pick up another one of those picks in the 3rd round at that.
Yeah, Jeff, I mean, as we talked about too all week long, like this wasn't ever going to be a sexy pick. They're trying to fill voids. You know, Jerry talked a lot earlier this week, as did Stephen Jones, about really developing this young talent, as you mentioned, with Tyler Smith. It's a good problem that they have, essentially, because he's so versatile as well. If anything, it's going to add to some competition come training camp and those types of things. What's the mood over there at the Star, Jeff?
I'll be honest, Sam, I mean, things are just like all over the place. I don't really know. I mean, we've got, our media friends in here. We've got the war room back there that we don't, get a sneak peek into really unless you're just watching the stream. So, I think people think that this worked out well. Again, you get your offensive lineman. You said it, Sam, this is a need pick. We know that. But I think the big win was the moving back to gain that extra pick. And that makes tomorrow a lot more exciting for this franchise that says it's all in. And they better be all in on making some good third-round picks and second round.
Yeah, Jeff, we'll talk about what they might do from here in this draft when we bring you back live from the Star here in just a few minutes. Jeff Kolb with us talking more about Tyler Guyton, the tackle from Oklahoma, the Cowboys' first-round pick at number 29 overall. Jeff, we'll see you again in a few minutes.